bakayım. Vardır oğlum.
Ok tüylü mü?
Barış altında şu
Evet boş ver. Sen bir test etsene sesi. Dur. Vardır oğlum. Var işte. Ne boş yapıyorlar. Sekmiş.
I think they're just trolling.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
You're wrong, man. They my peak of 31 limit is 41.
AP baby blue, Pepper's pink.
Probably 32.
So, what are your thoughts on luxury goods as a market?
No.
What? So, what's your favorite watch brand?
Can we get back to seriousness, please? I have an interview next week.
I understand, yes. So, if your AP costs 31, how much did it cost to manufacture it? Alright,
Okay.
let's continue with seriousness. So, what are your thoughts on liquidity and liquidity management in companies?
What do you mean by what are your thoughts on liquidity?
What are your thoughts on how you should manage liquidity as a large company and the importance of its management?
I'm going to assume large means companies that have more employees than 500.
That is a fair
And
assumption.
the key element to managing liquidity is planning for sure. You need a central accounting department, even if you have different branches for different countries, different products, doesn't matter. In my opinion, accounting departments should be central and directly connected to the executive branch, which is how central planning can be made, which is crucial if you want to.
But does it hug you like a G6 too?
I'm actually with both fishes men with one flight on my own press.
I went from a Toyota to a Urus. 100 meters. 100 Edis. They don't fit in one SUV.
think you have a question from the chat.
Do I?
I think it's Doruk Ors.
Oh yeah,
Ors.
of course. What are your opinions on the latest Palestinian Rolex crisis?
Palestinian.
Yes. A Rolex crisis, they say. Interesting. Interesting. Hmm.
It is an intricate and delicate issue,
Yes.
but I feel like we should be talking more about the Taliban Richard Miller crisis if we are going to talk about watches
Yeah, first of
and
all,
global issues regarding that.
what about the AP crisis? I think
Okay.
there's not a lot of AP baby blues left for 41 millimeters.
41 millimeters, 80. I think so. Okay. I think
So,
that's enough.
what do you think about war profiteering? What do you think about its ethical concerns and its business concerns? Do you think it is a good thing to profit from war?
Now, the first question and the second question you asked are completely two different things.
Please answer them both.
No,
Alright,
I'm only going to answer the first one.
answer the first one.
No, I'm going to answer the second one now.
Understandable. I think my hair is a little messed up.
Companies have something called, this is appearing in the 21st century, it's CSR, corporate social responsibility. And what this entails is that it says companies have a responsibility to their stakeholders to be socially responsible. So their sole aim should not be just to profit. But I think that defeats the point of capitalism, true capitalism, in the way that our Lord and Savior Adam Smith envisioned it. And what I mean by that is that if, this is going to be a repetition of a previous point that I mentioned and just more continue, but if it is such a problematic issue, then the customers are more than welcome to stop buying the products or services of the said company. I don't think we do need a regulatory, meaning a third party, such as governments or international governmental organizations. I think the market can handle itself. Sure, there will be a few deaths in the beginning while we're adjusting to the system, but we're quick learners as people.
I agree, we are quick learners, yes.
By the way, as I
But,
said, all of the
hold
all
on.
of the context and all of the ideas presented in this interview are purely a figment of imagination. This is not a real interview. You
Yeah,
are not real. This stream is not real. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
I wanted to add something when you said fast learners. If you're a fast learner, you could utilize the newly made amazing tool called Fouraye Academy. It's truly a revolutionary tool. With Fouraye Academy, with Fouraye Academy, with Fouraye Academy, you do not only learn hard topics quickly, but you also adapt to the application of such difficult topics. Welcome back.
Okay, wait. We have a really special guest coming all the way from Cardiff, a
Isn't
Greek city.
Kadikoy from Greece?
Yeah, I think he probably is Greek, from
Well,
Constantinople.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, I got confused. All of the jokes made in this video are not to be taken seriously.
There's no jokes in the video. What do you
We
mean?
do not accept any legal liabilities.
We
I
have
don't want
not
any
given
more
financial
lawsuits.
advice.
Please leave me alone. This is not financial advice.
Yes.
Bye.
Hold on. We are going to have a very important guest from Kadikoy, from Greece, Mykonos.
Mykonos.
Have you tried Tatsuki before? Isn't it revolutionary?
No, but I had locomotives.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's unlike any cuisine. It's truly original.
And so all of that.
So, what are your thoughts on emerging markets? Which markets do you think are emerging today and worth investing in?
I refuse to give financial advice. Thank you.
Yes,
Is there a
but
special guest coming? I'm getting impatient.
I hope he is coming. I have sent him the invite code again. So, I'm looking at the SPY graph and I'm saying a
No,
call
no,
is
no.
needed. This is not financial advice.
Did you see the portfolio of Fouraye Enterprise
Oh,
today
of course,
in Internet Interactive Brokers?
foreign
I think
enterprises.
there has been a change.
Foreign enterprises is a
Update.
multinational financial tyrant. So obviously,
Wall Street Times, yes, of course.
Yeah, of
But
course.
did you see the recent change in the portfolio that was made today?
I am currently checking it out.
I think the meeting will close in like a minute.
Yeah, I think so too. But the change is incredible.
It is. Did you see the investment, the amount, and to which company?
Oh, yes, of course. Northern Dynasty Minerals is
No,
incredible.
the other one.
Oh, you're talking.
The other one. Did you
Oh,
see the
yes,
other
of
one?
course.
The new one.
You know that one of the greatest market leaders in movie and showcasing box office is
Is that for our
AMC.
media?
Oh, of course, it's Fouraye Media, but after that, it's AMC. I
As an
mean,
unrealistic notice that.
I don't think anyone has bought AMC and lost money. It's impossible.
This is a joke. If you take this seriously, don't do it.
Oh, no, no.
Don't do it. Get some help.
Yeah. Get some help by jumping off. Oh, no, no. I don't think our guest
There is
can
our
join us.
guest.
He's unable to join our meeting, but we'll start up a new meeting.
Okay.
Alright. So we have joined a new meeting. How are you today?
Can you guys hear me? No. Lovely. Alright, I have some questions by the way.
Please go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I have some questions about the latest watch crisis that is going on.
The latest watch
I,
crisis.
I want I want your opinions about about the latest watch crisis, and I trust your opinions due to your profession in this area.
So
I
as you
think
know,
our chief financial officer is more than qualified to answer this question.
watches are an inelastic product. Everyone needs them. You can't live without watches. Because, if you don't got the AP, you can't live.
Yes, it is.
So, a crisis of a watch crisis is insanely fatal, especially in Palestine. It's truly sad that many people will be without watches and therefore will not be able to experience the glory of the 40 millimeter AP with the paper spin.
An outstanding answer. For you all. Yeah. Okay. Then I have some other questions. For our latest viewers and listeners, actually, the questions for them is actually related with them.
So I need some advices for them. They are doing very poorly in their exams, in the latest financial exams. Have you heard of FRM, the exam?
Oh yes, I've heard of it.
Yeah, I created it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay then. Then
Yeah, no problem.
Mr. Dawson will have probably has the answers relevant to this question. So the question is actually, in order to pass the second phase of the exam, do you think they should learn multiplying?
No, I think a week in Monaco is advised, at least 3 days in Paris, for a college final study to get the optimal results.
Yes.
Multiplying is optional.
Because as you know, finance is all about
The
probability.
other question relevant to this question is actually, instead of multiplying, do you think um, sorry, I have some, I am lagging, I can, uh, oh, okay, okay. So, do you guys think, instead of multiplying, is dividing an option to,
Dividing. I mean,
I
I
said
think.
that we're not looking for things that can meet
can you guys hear me?
skill sets.
Really sorry.
Like bankrupting any financial tyrants, like foreign enterprises. We're looking for such qualities, not multiplication or division.
Okay, so if I'm not wrong, if I'm not wrong, you guys are willing to teach required, the requirements to work as a financial officer or financial student in Fouraye enterprises. Are you guys willing to
No,
help the students?
No.
No, okay.
no, no. We're selfish people.
But as Fouraye enterprises, are you guys willing to teach new students about um, financial reliability or some financial mathematics?
I mean, teaching students finance is very beneficial for us because simply teaching students finance would make them lose money, and we're a market participant, so they would lose money to us. So simply, it's revolutionary.
As an Arab myself, as you can see, in my country, Syria, do you think having financial independence is key? Because if I'm not wrong, in Istanbul, having financial freedom is very key in order to achieve a life standard, a high level of life.
Brother, the only thing you need is God. You don't need money.
Okay, okay.
Stop wasting your time with these
You only need
empty
two
subjects.
things.
Focus on heavenly things, holy things,
Yes.
Okay.
not the earthly issues. This life is temporary. Heaven is eternal.
Okay, so okay, well, in this case, I've missed the recent Friday prayers in the mosque.
That's very hard. Very hard.
Okay,
You
and
shouldn't have done
Sunday
that.
is it bad?
It is incredibly bad. I can't imagine.
I would kindly ask you to leave this meeting.
Would this cause my financial stability into
I
corruption?
mean, how could you miss a prayer in the mosque? Like,
Oh,
it's
okay.
truly, I don't get it.
I've read some recent articles about Jannah and the importance of Quran. what are your opinions on the importance of Quran in our lives?
Did you know that there was a fake Quran recently from America?
Oh, you mean the Quran? Oh, yes, you mean the fake Quran? Yes, I heard of it. Yes, and it has caused some really um, it has caused some real complications in my neighborhood in Syria, which people actually started to pray according to the Quran instead of Quran.
And how did the prayers change?
Well, in my well, the way that I've
Like,
seen them,
did the
is
radius
actually
decrease or increase?
okay. So the main issues I think I've also seen I've only seen them praying once during the last month, and the prayer actually jumped instead of laying down and praying. It was very interesting, you know. According to Quran, the fake Quran, I think I haven't read it, unfortunately, but the main issue with it, I think, is the Quran is implementing some other ways of prayers and praying, because I think there's only one proper way to pray, and Quran is trying to change that. That's what I've understood at least.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
When?
I've seen
Did
I've
I ask?
seen I've seen him play the
Did I
prayer.
ask?
Yes, you actually did. Yes.
No, when did I ask?
Yes. Is this a program of? Am I here to joke around Quran and its importance? Am I being wrong? Are you trying to insult Quran?
We don't joke about religious stuff. We
Exactly.
respect all religions.
Exactly. That's
Yes.
what. Okay. Well, Mr. Iran, I have a question directly to you, actually. I will
Please,
take the
Mr.
first.
Ahmad Ziraj.
Okay. Well, my question is, as far as I know, you're Turkish, right?
No, I'm not Turkish.
Oh, okay. But your name is Turkish, though, right?
Yes, correct.
Um, but where exactly are you from?
I'm from.
Oh, you mean from Africa or from the the
No, from
southern
the
part of the
Pacific
nation?
Ocean.
You like close to Malaysia, I think, or is it the one next to Nigeria? But then you would have been black and you're not, so that I understand.
Ah, yeah, I think you had a disconnection.
Did you ask the
Yanlışlıkla şey yaptım. Neyse.
Okay, with all seriousness, let's get back to the interview.
Yes, I agree. Let me think of a question that I could potentially ask. Would it be feasible to have an economy entirely based on the service sector?
this for just one country or the whole world?
For one country.
It is.
Could you please elaborate?
There are countries on Earth that do not have the most natural resources or did not see the need or past evolved the need of producing in the secondary sector and hopped rather to the tertiary sector, which is the service sector. According to Ricardo's theory, the competitive advantage theory, countries in a perfectly free economy, countries should do what they have the most competitive advantage. And if that is the service sector, sure, why not? But I'm not saying that it wouldn't be problematic for the country, because the country would be relying on other countries for products. But if we are talking about the utopia, then sure. In a utopia where there is the free market is present, then it would work theoretically. And I feel like there are close examples to this in today's world as well. Because, no, when I think about it, I realize that I'm wrong. Because I was thinking about Japan and Dubai, because I know for a fact that Japan doesn't have many natural resources on its islands, which was one of the reasons why it invaded so many parts of the mainland Asia during the Second World War. But you didn't ask about natural resources.
Can you hear me?
No.
Okay, that's perfect. Alright, so I think we encountered a slight technical problem, a technical issue, you say. So I'd like to ask an entirely new question. A new country is formed in the Pacific Ocean. They introduce a new currency. How does the international market value what it is worth?
Does have an international, does do an international trade?
Let's say it does limited international trade.
What used to be the case was that the value of a country's currency was valued according to the amount that they have in their gold reserves, but that changed after Bretton Woods fell apart. So now, if it is a brand new country in the middle of the Pacific, is it recognized by everyone?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well then, I have a question. Oh, okay.
that one is asking. Um, what are your opinions on the latest China-Taiwan conflict?
I didn't quite catch that.
Please, let's not get into this right now. It's not a conflict.
Are we required or um, are we allowed to speak about politics?
Thank you. Now let's get back to answering the question.
Okay, let's get back to answering the question. So could you please answer it?
Yeah. Well, what will happen is for the currency to gain legitimacy, the country must have some kind of foreign currency reserve, and even if it doesn't, it can trade some of its products for foreign currency.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about just valuating your. No, no, no. I'm rambling around, but that's not the real answer. The real answer is that if this island country is a proper country, then it has a central bank, and if it has a central bank, then it has means to produce its own money. And connecting back to the previous point I made, if they have this foreign reserve, foreign currency reserve, and we know about how much money they have, how much money the central bank has printed, so you get the valuation from there.
Yes, that is very logical.
It's in the beginning it seems to me like it would be based on pure speculation. But if the speculation is made with one country, and then the other countries will accept it, and if a speculation is accepted by enough parties, then it becomes a reality. That's how a world works. A piece of paper suddenly is worth houses, boats, jets, food. It's just a reality that we all believed, we all decided to accept.
So, what are your thoughts on managing foreign exchange markets? In a, in a case of devaluation, what should a country do? What is the most optimal path one should take? In your opinion?
It's not a matter of opinion. It is a fact. It
Yeah,
should
that's what I'm asking.
increase the supply of their money and increase the demand.
And how should they go about doing this? That's what I'm asking.
There are multiple ways of doing it. I don't quite remember all of the ways that can be done, which I learned in my AP lessons, but from pure logic, what I would say is that if the currency is devalued to increase the demand for it, the country could increase the interest rate so that it pulls investment from outside countries. Other than that, it should convert the foreign reserves that it has. Those are the most basic ways that come to my mind.
That is reasonable, yes. Do you think there are too many people in the world?
What subject is this?
In terms of economy, do you think there's too many people in the world and too little resources?
Hmm. Certainly, we do have, and which is to exacerbate, we do have an energy crisis at our hands, but that doesn't mean magic can neither be created nor destroyed. So it gets transformed into something else. And if we find a way to use that something else, or if we find a way to use extra planetary resources such as the rays coming from the sun, resources won't be depleted to zero. Certainly, with the climate crisis that we're facing right now, it looks like, and from the situation that we read in the news every day, such as the unsuccessful attempts in the COP28 summit, there are going to be some scarcity of some resources, and it's going to affect most of the poor countries. But we cannot decrease the amount of people. So the only solution that we have is increasing the amount of resources. We simply must find a solution. We don't have any other option. Or we can just try to decrease our usage, which is what is trying to be done by many countries right now. Recycling, that sort of thing.
That is very reasonable. So the next question I'd like is regarding GDP. So uh, could you please walk me through how we can measure GDP?
What do you mean by how can we measure it? Are you asking purely in economic sense, or
In an economic sense, how do we go about measuring GDP?
GDP equals what was it, consumption plus government spending plus investment uh, plus exports minus imports? I might have missed one of the elements.
Well, I'd like to ask that, can we really measure GDP? We do have a formula, but is it possible to, in fact, accurately measure GDP?
There are shortcomings to this method, of course, because, for example, it doesn't take into account the black market or unpaid labor while talking about the gross domestic product of the country. But for statistics reasons, we we need to have a method to be able to measure economy so that we can. So I got a message. Oh, um, what was I saying? Yeah, so that we can come to conclusions, test policies and their results, their effects. I don't think that it is the most optimal way to calculate gross domestic product, and as far as I can remember, there were different kinds of uh, uh, methods, such as using the basket system and stuff, but I think this one is a reasonable method.
So the next question is about economic forecasting models. So what are determinants of economic growth that should be included in a forecasting model? as well as things such as current drivers of inflation and other transmission channels of monetary policy emissions and trading rationale. What do you think should be?
Your voice is cutting off. Can you repeat the question?
I'll just simplify it. What are determinants of economic growth that should be included into a forecasting model?
I think you have a message. Okay, then could you once again? I'm sorry. Repeat the question.
Alright, I'll repeat the question. Uh, so, what are determinants of economic growth that should be included in a forecasting model?
Um, when central governments were first formed, in terms of having actually not just a king that sat at the capital, but actually having a national government that controlled the whole country, what they would look at was just the number of people they have and how much they can be taxed. And everyone, as far as I remember, everyone was taxed the same way. So the net assets were calculated and the population was counted. It's not that simple anymore because they did other factors different than the number of people living in the country and how much money they have. Services is a part of it. Other than that, goodwill, reputation, there are things like that that change the value, actual valuation of your country. And you were asking methods to measure economic growth, right?
Yes, I'm asking determinants of economic growth.
Are you asking my opinion or the formula that economists use right now?
I'm asking both. Starting with the formula, then continue with your opinion.
Mm, just as we discussed economic growth, the formula is the change in GDP within the given 2 years, divided by the GDP of the initial year. And this gives a percentage. If it is positive, then the economy grew. If it is negative, then the economy shrank. And if it shrinks for more than two consecutive quarters, then it means that it's in depression, a recession. My idea is that what I believe is that this way is not comprehensive enough for the current world order. A country might have left all of its alliances, backstabbed all of its allies, made money off of that for 1 year. That doesn't mean that, sure, the economy grew for 1 year. That doesn't mean that it's something sustainable. Other than that, with inflation, GDP might grow, it might appear to grow, and that's what we had in Turkey. The economy seemed to grow year by year in the last 20 years. Yet people living and experiencing the economy would certainly disagree with that.
Alright, that is reasonable. I'd like to ask my next question, which is about what is the difference between buying and selling of slaves and the buying and selling of football players?
Is this a past paper question?
Yes, it is.
Okay. The most important factor is, of course, consent. Football players are professionals and they consent to being traded. If they, it's just their professional life. If they want to go, they'll go. If they do not want to go, then they won't go. I feel like using the same word of trade for both of the cases do not clearly portray the situation and the differences between the cases because slavery, though it was a key part of the economy in the years of the slavery triangle and before the American Civil War, and a lot of countries were built off of the back of slaves. And the analogy can be made that a lot of football teams might have been developed thanks to the successful efforts of the football players that they traded for. But it's not just about the outcome, it's about the process as well. And the process did not have consent, the parties were not, did not consent in slavery. They didn't make much money. Therefore, most of them weren't even able to survive, which is the opposite case for football players. If they're successful, they're millionaires. So, although the outcomes might look similar, I don't think economics is just about the outcome of stuff. It has to be because it's a humanitarian science. It has to be about the process and about the effect of people involved as well.
That is very reasonable. Do you know about Toys R Us as a
Yes,
company?
it went bankrupt.
Yes, so why would you consider Toys R Us to be a failing business?
We don't have more than 1 minute left. Should we renew the link?
Alright, I will renew the link. So, like I said, why would you consider Toys R Us a failing business?
I don't think I have enough information to draw conclusions, but as far as I know, at least what I've heard is that Toys R Us is a retailer or retailer store, and it wasn't able to properly adapt to the online retailing. That might be just a guess, or I might have read it somewhere, I don't know. And which is why it wasn't able to compete with its competitors and failed. And I've heard somewhere that it had a lot of debt already mounting up, and it's all deteriorated. after the online scam.
Alright. I'd like to ask another question. Are you aware of Walmart?
Walmart, yes.
So, should a Walmart store be opened in the middle of Oxford? What are your thoughts?
I've never been to Walmart, but as far as I've read from the internet, it's a shop for more low to middle income people. And I've been to Oxford, but I cannot say I've truly analyzed the demographics of Oxford, but I would guess that people living in Oxford are at least middle to upper class. Other than that, it might be completely unrelated to economics, but I think it would completely ruin the culture of Oxford because Walmarts are always huge stores, and putting one in the middle of Oxford would symbolize the dominance of pure American capitalism over English royalism. I feel like that would be the ultimate victory for the Americans against the English.
So, I'd like to go forward and ask a whole nother question. What would you say if Gordon Brown were to take a report which shows that people who go to university earn more than those who do not, and then proclaim that going to university causes you to earn more?
I don't know who that guy is.
You don't need to know him, just someone random.
Okay, then what is the question? I understand, but what is the question?
So, if someone were to take a report which shows that people who go to university earn more than those who do not, and then proclaim that they were that going to university causes you to earn more, what would your response to this be?
Ah, there's a logic error in there. It's the discrepancy between correlation and causation. Because there might be many reasons why people going to universities might be making more money than people that do not, such as um, it makes sense that people going to university go to university because they have a sense of financial freedom. So they might be more financially privileged than their counterparts that don't get to go to university, um, which in return means that once they are graduated, they're going to be continuing down that path. It doesn't mean that university per se changed that or caused that outcome. It's just a correlation, not a causation. And unfortunately, it is really popular in today's media, especially with the rise of populism and populist leaders that constantly manipulate the media for their own benefits to draw their ideal country through manipulated information. And this is how they accomplish it, through logically flawed arguments such as this one.
Do you think bankers deserve the pay they receive?
argument against this would be that bankers do not really do anything, like in terms of product, service, whatever. But I disagree with that. There is a reason why bankers are essential to our economics, or to our economies, and a sign of a developed economy is a developed banking system. And that's not randomly, that's not random. It is because of all of the benefits that the banking system provides us with. And the banking system consists of these bankers, which is why I believe if banking does benefit us that much, then sure, yeah, bankers do deserve their pay. And another argument made against that, that is made a lot in Turkey, at least in more Islamic circles, because it comes from Islam, is that interest rates are simple when they are applied to people in need by people that are not in need. And Islam commands that interest rates must be, if it is going to exist, it must be in a reasonable rate. And as always happens, religion is always misunderstood. Conclusions are drawn from parts of the sentences, omitting the other parts, which is one of the reasons why Muslims are miscellated. And why we had Erdogan's government these unorthodox economical policies where interest rates were kept low even though inflation was close to 100%, which changed since 2023 June.
I'm going to ask this very seriously, and it is a past paper question. If there were three beautiful naked women standing in front of you, which one would you pick? Does this have any relevance to economics?
Or which one would I want?
If there were three beautiful naked women standing in front of you, which one would you pick? Does this have any relevance to economics?
It is relevant to economics because economics is all about decision making. And decision making that is backed up by reasoning. When you integrate money into it, when you have scarce resources and unlimited ones, then you get economics. Just like how you might have unlimited ones for unlimited amount of money, but you have scarce resources, only three naked beautiful women, and you are supposed to choose only one. There are unlimited ones and scarce resources. And now you have to analyze, you have to come up with conclusions, you have to compare these naked beautiful women about their features, whatever you're interested in, their characters, I don't know, physical attributes. And in economics, it's the same thing. There is a reason why we not all dress the same way, or we don't all eat the same things, even compared to our peers that come from a similar financial background. We are all unique individuals, and that's what makes economics so unpredictable and worthy of studying.
That is a very good viewpoint. Now, I'd like to ask another question. Why do Rolls-Royce build cars by hand and Toyota by machine?
because that sets the value. Um, Toyota can use the same engine as Rolls-Royce, use the same material for the exterior as Rolls-Royce, but it wouldn't be able to sell for as high price as Rolls-Royce. And the reason being that it is individual, it is personalized. Um, and most economical theories are not able to explain this because economics assumes that people make rational decisions. And if they were making rational decisions, they would just pick the cheaper car with the same qualities. But they don't. That's why I love behavioral economics. Because that's behavioral economics touch upon the psychology of decision making as well. And as I said, I believe economics is all about decision making, the decisions that you make.
Then do you believe that behavioral economics is a very relevant field in economics?
Yes, as I mentioned in my personal statement, I'm really fond of behavioral economics and I would like to pursue behavioral economics and my career in university because I don't think people are just points of data, at least not few data they can just gather. And as I said, if so, people wouldn't have been buying those purses, but they do, and there is a reason for that.
Yes.
Like I heard that the end goal of Fouraye enterprises is to own Rolls Royces, and there is a reason for that because when you buy a Rolls Royce, you don't just buy the car.
We
You buy
also
the statue, you buy the image, you buy the company culture that comes with it, you buy respect with it,
yes, we also
you
aim
buy
to
power
buy
with
a
it.
CMORG, as you know, CyMorg, which is extremely valuable. My next question is: if a Martian drops money across the country, does inflation go up?
I'm guessing it's dropping the same currency as the country that it's from.
Yes.
So that is flying through. Yes, the supply increases, so the demand must decrease. And to do that, to reach the equilibrium, the price of the money should drop, causing devaluation. Benim AP konumu bayağı tekrar almaz. Sınavda bu kadar şey yapıyor, fokus varsa.
Evet.
Anladım,
Bayağı
okuyayım.
random. Ben şu an direkt kitabı okuyorum. Past Admission Interview Questions for Economics and Management. Ama sadece kitabın ilk sayfasının yarısı var çünkü para vermen gerekiyor kalanına.
At ben veririm.
Veya sign up istiyor işte. Şu an sign up'a kasamayacağım ama zaten yarı soru şey var. Are, are large or small companies more successful?
Uh, I cannot see any part of it. This is sign up to the, right. Sorry for making you wait.
In fact, let me see if I can get it on Libgens. I didn't try, so.
I tried sign up, it's not in there.
Alright, I'll just try. Uh, I'll just try and see if I have it on Library Genesis.